I think we're back. I'm having some technical difficulties. Just give me a second. I think we're back. Hold on. I don't know what's going on tonight. I apologize. All right. So we are having some technical difficulties tonight, so I apologize about that. But if you can just confirm that you can hear me okay, and then we will get going with the announcements and the questions. Kind of confused on what's going on. So Verna or Ed, if you, okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. Sorry for all the issues so far. Hopefully that was it. All right, so a couple of announcements. Number one, we will be doing a rapid fire Q&A tomorrow night. And then next week, next Sunday and Monday, I will not be here. We will be skipping those. I will be out of town for the week with the family. So tonight and tomorrow we'll be live. I did happen to have a very productive day with YouTube today. So I've done a special video about quail. I've done reasons for chick fatality and some tips and tricks. I've done a troubleshooting for incubators video. And then we've got, I got the Brooder best practices video. And then I've got 2 videos that are not quail related but farm related that should be a lot of fun and has some good information on there as well. So I am uploading all of those, which might have been what the issue was at the very beginning. I might have been overloading my things, so I apologize about that. But so we've got a lot of good videos coming your way. Those are the topics, and those videos are all done. I just got to post them later on throughout the next week or two. And then, like I said, I will be out of town next week, so I did want everybody to know that this week is normal. Next week, we're still going to be shipping, but I'll be printing labels on Sunday, and that will be for the entire week, because I'm going to be projecting what goes out the entire week, and George will be collecting and taking them to the post office. But printing the labels is a little bit difficult, plus you need a lot of information, and he's already going to be doing quite a bit of work. So we'll be printing out labels early next week for the entire week. So just keep that in mind as well. And the week that I get back, I think the 7th, is that Monday? I do believe. I'll have a really big announcement with hatching eggs. But I've got 900 new breeders, and other than jumbos, I should be 100% caught up on everything in 2 weeks, except for golds, a few SSC orders, and there was something else, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. But other than that, everything else will be completely caught up, which I'm very excited about. So growls, growl tucks, Rosetta tucks, Tibetan tucks, scarlet tucks, Rosetta, Tibetan, scarlet, mix, and a few more things. All of those will be 100% caught up when I get back from vacation. So I'm very excited about that. So you guys won't have to wait too long for those orders, and I'll update you on here as well as the website as soon as I get back into town. And there was one more thing. Oh, yes. The 18 and under contest will be delayed 1 week next month. Because I will be going out of town, I think the 29th through the 6th or something like that. I can't remember. But the first Sunday of every month, I usually do the 18 and under contest. I won't be here, so it'll be that following Sunday. I think that is all the announcements to bore you with. I do plan on hoping to do a couple more YouTube videos before I get out of town, but I do have enough for the next couple of weeks. And we've got some really good QuailCon videos coming your way. I just set up a couple more experts to be here, so I'll share that with you in videos coming up. We did tentatively do a schedule. I'm going to clarify that while we're driving down. Me and my wife will do that, and then we will do a video on the schedule. We'll put that into place. And I did start putting deposits down on everything. So we are on track and ready to go for QuailCon. If you don't know what that is, I have a video on it. But you can go to our website, myshirefarm.com, go to the tab that says QuailCon 2022, and you will have a lot of information on there. So I'm very excited about all of that. And let's get started with your questions. So this is Sunday night. We do this almost every Sunday. I have missed one here or there lately, and obviously I won't be here next week. But for the most part, majority of the time, I am here Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we do some really cool, fun stuff on here. So if you're new, let us know where you're from. It's always interesting to see where all the quail people are in the world. And then if you've hatched any eggs from us this week, feel free to share what that is. I will write that down, and we keep records of that. I did actually do that yesterday and got caught up with all the numbers. Currently, we're sitting at a 69.8%, and we've got 4 orders out right now that are really big that can change the numbers dramatically. So I'm expecting to be over 70 by the time I get back from vacation. So that is a plus. So we're getting those numbers back up, which is exciting. And then obviously hit the like button, support the channel. We'd appreciate that. If you do want to donate to QuailCon, you know what that is. You're coming, whatever the case may be. There's a $ in the comment section. It is either a super sticker or a super chat. Really, that's just a donation. And all donations this week are going straight to QuailCon to have it bigger and better than ever. And I'm very excited about that. And I read all the comments tonight, so if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. We'll be happy to help you on your journey. And then this is more of a community setting. Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I go live, and it is more of a rapid fire Q&A. So I only read the questions. I don't read all the comments. I only read the questions, and it's more of a rapid fire. Tonight it's more of a community setting, but we're happy that you're all here, so thank you very, very much. And I think I am done boring you. I'm going to take a drink, and then we will get started. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. All right, here we go. Ed Got Bait is obviously in the house. Ed Got Bait and Verna Young are our moderators on here. And thank you very much. We have a ton of moderators and admins on Facebook as well. So thank you for all the leaders out there. I appreciate you. And I'll actually be seeing Ed Got Bait on my trip on my way back home. We'll be stopping by to visit him for a second. And Verna Young will actually be speaking at QuailCon, and she put together a cookbook that is available on our website now. You can order that. It's a downloadable file, and some of the proceeds go to her, some of the proceeds go to QuailCon, so make sure you check that out as well. Okay, here we go. Jeff Hardy's in the house. From Ohio, just finished my first hatch on Friday. I ordered 50 count of feather sexable mix and hatched 35 chicks. Not too bad at all. Congratulations. 35? It is. That's great. Congratulations. Good job, and good luck with the hatch. I do have a couple of videos that might help you out coming out this week, which is the brooder process, as well as keeping your chicks happy and healthy during the brooder experience as well. Kevin Mall says, I think my eggs are shipping tomorrow. I ordered 50 of the golds. I can't wait. Yes, thank you so much for your patience. But I do remember making your foamer today. I think you actually go out Tuesday, but it might be tomorrow. It's going to be real close. David Lister's in the house from Oklahoma, everyone. We have 50 plus of our own jumbo white wings and jumbo whites in the incubator on day 8. They will be our first hatch. Zach and Jenna are going to be great grandparents. There you go. Well, congratulations. That's a huge excitement, huge step. And it's always very rewarding when you start hatching out your own eggs. So congratulations. That's really cool. Let's see. Michael's in the house. Good evening from Maple Hill, North Carolina. Just starting my quail venture, I had 70 out of 100 eggs hatch on Easter. They are 5 weeks old now, just waiting on those first eggs. Very cool. Congratulations. And 5 weeks. I would say in the next week you should start getting a few eggs here and there. Congratulations. Let's see. HMK's in the house. Evening, everyone. Buenos noches, and all kinds of salutations to everyone. I butchered that. I knew how to say it. It just didn't come out of my mouth right. But welcome. We're glad you're here. Katrina's in the house from Gilroy, California. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Tim Baldridge is in the house. Welcome. Lost my spot. There we are. Camilla's in the house. We are in lockdown for our first chicks ever. Excited and a little nervous. It's the worst part, lockdown, because you're just waiting. There's not much else you can do. So I completely understand that. I wish you all the best. Good luck. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. But enjoy the process. Good and bad. Just enjoy it. Learn from it. And I promise it gets a lot easier. Charles is in the house from Tampa. Welcome. We're glad you're here. David Lister's in the house. We have a little one that has wry neck, 8 days old. We have added rooster booster to their feed. Anything else we can do to help this little one? Not really to fix that. Especially at 8 days old, there's really not much you can do, unfortunately. You can add some electrolytes to the water, which is a video I'll be talking about later on, either the end of this week or the beginning of next. But most of the time, Rhineck, well, majority, if not all the time, Rhineck is usually environmental issues. So it's not genetic. And typically, they'll grow up and kind of be productive. They're not going to be like your all-stars, but they should gain weight. They're just going to look a little weird. So it's not too bad. Really not much more you can do after that, unfortunately. We did just get our donation. Texas Caternix Quail Connections in the house for $5 for QuailCon. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We do have 31, I do believe. Let me look just real quick. Just real quick. My wife hates when I say that. We do. We have 31 different states coming to QuailCon, so that's super cool. And I've got a lot more information to share with you. So make sure you get your tickets now, because the more information I give you, I think the faster the tickets are going to sell. So I'm really excited about the information I'll be providing for you shortly. Tom says, can I use 1x1 mesh for flooring in a grow out pen, or is that too big for chicks' feet? Nope, 1x1 would be fine. I lied. 1x1/2 is good. 1x1's a little too big, especially for grow outs. I like 1x1/2. That's what we changed all of our cages to. Our brooders are 1/2x1/2, just because they're a little bit smaller and they're in there for the first 3 weeks. But 1x1/2 is ideal. Tom says, I'm having trouble locating it in vinyl coated. How about 5/8 by 5/8? So you can check out, oh crap, I mentioned it a few lives ago, critterfence.com, I do believe. That's where we've gotten all of our wire, including coated. So check out critterfence.com. They're the cheapest, they're fast shipping, and we're very, very impressed. So we got all of our cage wire from there. We got all of our brooder wire. We got our emu fence wire, our aviary wire, like wire. That is the place to go. It's called critterfence.com. I don't know anything about them other than I'm really happy with the product, but I've never talked to them or anything like that. But I have no complaints at all. But definitely check that out. They have 1/2 coated, and they're great. Jesse Mills is in the house. Welcome. Fran Crow is in the house. Welcome. Let's see. Bethany Gray's in the house. Hi, Zach. Am wondering if I will have time to hatch a batch if I start tomorrow before my shipment comes. I ordered about 6 weeks ago, but had special request. If I remember your order correctly, where it's specific colors, you should, but you can probably just text me. Let me know when lockdown is for the eggs that you're putting in, and I would assume it's probably going to be a couple days before that, but I can just hold off a few days so you can get another batch in. Because it's still probably, for your specific order, it's probably going to be about another week and a half to 2 weeks, maybe just a little bit longer, so we're right at that cusp. Let's see. Shelby Allison's in the house. Welcome. James is in the house from Montana. Welcome. Tom's in the house. Welcome. Glad everybody can hear me well. Thank you very much. Lisa K's in the house. Fran Crow's in the house. Witch Doctor's in the house. Hi, y'all. We missed last week, but we are back. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. And I did get them in the mail. I forgot to do that this weekend. I've been in the barn or outside. But I will take care of that this week. I probably won't do the video until I get back from vacation, but we will get that taken care of. So thank you very much, and I'll get in contact with you. Hong Kak is in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. Michael's in the house. Welcome. Happy Hillbilly's in the house. Welcome. Hidden Creek Quail is in the house from Florida. Welcome. Glad you're here. Special video. Well, I don't want to give the topic away. So that's the way I said that. Priske said, what order date are you up to for shipping, if you know offhand? I don't know offhand, and everything is really different. Everything's a little bit different. All jumbos are still 6 to 8 weeks out, and that's just going to be the way it is for a while. All of the standards, all the colors, other than golds I'm a little behind on, but everything else I'm real close. Nikki James is in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. Doug's in the house. You got to respect this guy with his guarantee. He is straight up. Thank you again, Zach. Not a problem. Glad we could help, and thank you. Rowan Edward is in the house. Good night. I lost 7 chicks almost out of the egg they took the current day. Not exactly sure what you mean by that, but if they pipped but didn't hatch, usually that means it's a low humidity. So if that's how you meant it, that they died in the incubator, usually it means you need to increase your humidity. Andrew Perry's in the house. Welcome. Texas Coturnix Quail Connections in the house. My wife Sunday wants to know what the max heat the quail can endure. I mean, once they're fully grown, they do fine. And I mean, the temperature really doesn't affect them. I know people in Texas that get up to 130 degrees and they're outside and they do just fine. So temperature really doesn't affect the quail. Witch Doctor says, what gauge hardwire does everybody use in their cages? 16 gauge is what we use. Happy Hillbilly says, Happy's here finally. We just hatched 41 out of 51 eggs we collected from the birds we hatched from your eggs. Thanks, Zach, for all the advice you gave us to improve to this level. Well, thank you very much. Congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment, and I wish you all the best in the future. Fran Crow says, hey, Zach, wanted to let you know I had a 62% hatch rate for my 9 breeders of the birds I received from you. I am so excited to be giving these birds to a family who needs the meat and eggs. Wonderful. Congratulations. And that's a great hatch. Congratulations. Tommy Texter's in the house. Welcome from Tennessee. Ashley0882 says, I am 3 days out from lockdown on my order from Jumbo White Wings. Very exciting. Good luck, and obviously keep me posted on the hatch. Heather says, how far out on egg orders? Jumbo wilds are 13, 14 weeks. All the other jumbos are about 6 to 8, give or take. Maybe a little bit less, but somewhere around there. Golds I'm a little bit behind on. I'd say 4 to 5 weeks. And most of the other colors and standards, 2 weeks maybe. Richard Brown's in the house from Tennessee. Welcome. Father Figure says, move the Rosettas out to the hatching time cages. They really seem to like it and took to the watering system right away. Waiting on my jumbos, raising quail in Michigan. Congratulations. I'm glad they're doing well. And yeah, their transition's pretty smooth. I actually have a video that I did today talking about making the transitions, whether you're moving them or they're starting to lay or molt or whatever the case may be. Any transition you have, I have a video on a tip and trick to how to make it easier for them. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Tom says, can you use 5/8 by 5/8 mesh for grow out pens? I never have. You could. I'd still do 1 by half is what I would do. Witch Doctor says, we got our cookbook. Awesome. I hope you enjoy it. I've heard great things about it so far from the customers that's purchased it. James says, how long can shipped eggs sit after receiving them before they go into incubator outside of the 24-hour rest time? Well, 24 hours is recommended. That's what it should be. You can do 48. It's not the end of the world, but 24 is nice. That's the best practice. If you order from us, we send a little magnet saying the day that they're laid. And so you've got 7 days from whatever date is on there. Chris Rose 04 is in the house. Hi from KCK. First time watching you live. Well, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Little Ridge Farms in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. Psycho Ward 360 in Vegas is in the house. Welcome. Flew the Coop Farms from Urich, Missouri is in the house. Thanks, Zach, for all the advice to us and all your hard work. Not a problem. Glad I could help this week. Katrina says, I integrated 3.5-week-olds into my existing covey in my aviary Thursday. All are doing well. I have a video about it on my YouTube channel, Sow and Tear. I'll be putting eggs in the incubator tonight. Very cool. Congratulations. Don's in the house from Springboro, right up the road. First hatch finished, order 25 and 19 hatched, all on day 18. Awesome. Congratulations. If you're still on, Don, if you could let me know what kind you ordered, I'd greatly appreciate it. But thank you for letting me know. Stephen Fox is in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. Michelle Colley's in the house. When you're pairing in a breeder cage to work on a new color, since you get 1 egg a day, how many do you wait till you incubate them, or do you mark them and incubate with other eggs? Well, they're separated, but we put more eggs in. But we collect for 7 days and put them in every week. And they're completely separate. Separate tray, separate brooder, separate lockdown, separate. Anita Culp is in the house from California. Welcome. Glad you're here. The Grazing Farmstead says, hi everyone, Sue B from the Grazing Farmstead in Southwest Missouri. It's a cool one here. Just waiting a few more weeks to butcher my first group. Can't wait for the tasty meat. That is awesome. Congratulations. And I wish you all the best. It's fairly simple. I think people overthink it. So it'll be pretty easy. Just get used to it the first couple times and you'll be great at it. So congratulations. Quail's Nest is in the house from Florida. Welcome. Glad you're here. Patricia's in the house. Hello. Thank you for all these live chats. My 3 hens were all laying daily. About 4 days ago, they all just stopped on the same day. Most likely they got spooked. Or bad weather or something of that nature. High stress is what it was. Typically, it can take about 2 weeks for them to start laying again. You can give them electrolytes. either Save a Chick or Quick Chick from Murray McMurray. Save a Chick's on Amazon. Either one of those is just electrolytes. It's powder you put in the water, and that should help them transition and through the stress. But yeah, now it's just a patience and waiting game. But they'll start back up fairly quickly. Papin Homestead's in the house from Kissimmee. Welcome, glad you're here. Andrea is in the house. Is there much benefit to PVC coated flooring in the brooder? I actually have a video coming out tomorrow talking just about that, but I do like it. We just transitioned all of our brooders from galvanized wire to PVC coated wire in the past 3 or 4 months. We've been watching it, and there's definitely some benefits to it. I do like it. So if you can swing it and you can get it for a decent price, it's definitely worth it for sure. Quail's Nest is in the house. I use dog kennels with slide out tray all wrapped in 1/4 inch aviary wire. Works great. I believe the breaking the necks on flying too high is a myth. No, I wish it was, but it's not. Wish it was. Off the Rails for Quail says, I have a question about wild hen Egyptian roost sex links. I know they come out opposite color, but I was wondering if the hatched eggs from them would still produce sex link. Yep, absolutely. So you hatch out one, put them together, hatch out another, and then you can put the Egyptian males and the Pharaoh hens back together, and they'll produce sex links every time. Quail's Nest says, I get the dog kennels at the flea market for 1/4 of the price. That's a great idea. Congratulations. That's super good. Rabbit cages do work. Yep, we've actually done a video on that. Andrea is in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. Bags of Love's in the house from North Carolina. Welcome. Donna's in the house from Tijuana. Welcome. Glad you're here. Don Ray B's in the house from West Virginia. Welcome. Quail's Nest says, I hatched out 5 English whites and had 4 roosters and 1 hen. It's not great luck, but unfortunately it happens. Yeah, someone else had issues with higher cages, absolutely. Donnie and Lisa Pittman's in the house from Illinois. Welcome, glad you're here. Papin says, where can I buy jumbo egg cartons? We offer some on our website. It fits about 90, 93, 94% of all of our jumbo eggs. That's all I know. Sorry. Sorry. Carissa and Cole's in the house from Texas. Welcome. Glad you're here. Nope, not talking to me. Witch Doctor says, Zach, just give me a call when you can. Popple is pretty user friendly, so it won't take too long. I know you rub burning both ends of the candle. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I looked it over and I actually got it set up, but I did want to talk to you about it before I go further into it. Andrea says, is not talking to me. Papin says, can I use chicken layer feed? Absolutely. Absolutely. We did it for years. Just a general layer feed will work for your layers. And then just any starter grower, turkey starter, meat bird starter, game bird starter. We like pheasant starter, works out great for us. So yeah, it doesn't have to be a quail feed or a Caternix feed. They're not picky. Steven says, how many of a certain color is needed to start a decent color breeding program? Have a lot of roux and tuxedos. All my color mix are doing well and at least 2 weeks old. Well, it depends on your cages. If you're doing breeding groups like 5 hens and 1 male, 3 different groups will be just 3 different groups would be plenty. Really all you need to make your own thing going on. Michael Perry's in the house. Evening all. Question: I ordered the Winola watering troughs today. So do you know if they come with the tubing and PVC to tubing conversion couplings? Couldn't find info on the site. I do believe they do. I've gotten it both ways, so I'm not too sure. I've gotten just the troughs in the mail, and then I've also gotten the troughs with all the goodies with it. So I really don't know. You can email them; they'll email you back fairly quickly, within a day or two. And if anybody's ordered the troughs, you can let Michael Perry know that. I've gotten it both ways, so I'm really not 100% sure, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Wolfgeist is in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. Quail's Nest says, how long can we keep quail eggs in the fridge before they go in the incubator? You don't want to put them in the fridge. Room temperature out on the counter is ideal. You don't want to put them in the fridge. A. Jones is in the house. Hi all, checking in from the northeast tip of Ohio. Welcome, glad you're here. Donna's in the house. My GQF incubator came outside during rain. Well, at least it's there. I mean, that's a plus, right? Joe's in the house. We ordered 50 jumbo wild eggs, 33 hatched. Congratulations. Uh, 5 weeks old, we had 18 die one night. Be losing 1 to 4 daily. We have 7 males and 3 females left. Does this sound like bird flu? How to disinfect? I would have to be there to know for sure. Usually they start acting real weird and get real quiet about 24 hours before they die. I can't imagine the 10 you have left just didn't get it. I mean, my first initial thought was it's a predator attack, but that's hard to say. But how to disinfect if you want to, the best thing to do is just spray it out with a hose, and then take a spray bottle, put half Listerine, half water in there, spray the crap out of all of it, and let it air dry. Wolf Guy says, I need some hatching time cages. My 10 chicks are in 2 pet cages, and they are about 6 weeks old and hard to keep care of at this point. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you can look for a rabbit hutch and kind of change that around a little bit. You can usually find those on Craigslist. Dale's Quails, dalesquails.com offers smaller cages, which is really nice and very affordable. You can check those out as well. A. Jones is in the house. Welcome, glad you're here. Ashley0882 says, can you explain a little more about how wryneck occurs, please? I've not seen any proof, and we've done multiple things. Years ago, when we were in the old barn, we actually took a group. They were different colors, but we took a group of wryneck. So every time we had a wryneck, we would take it, put it in the cage, and we had a breeding group of wrynecks. Never once in... It was over a year, but I don't remember how long. I want to say like 14 months, 15 months, but I really don't remember. But it was definitely over a year. We hatched them out almost every week. We probably missed 4 or 5 weeks out of the year. Plus, we did it for longer than that. And not one time did they ever hatch out wryneck. So there's no proof that wryneck is genetic. I don't think it is. We would have gotten them from that before. So I really do believe that's 100% environmental. Usually they're late hatches. Usually they're some of the last ones that hatch. And from me talking to other experts in the field, the 2 theories that we've came up with, which makes 100% sense to me, is 1, it's a turning issue. it's not developing correctly in the eggshell because it's not turning, or they're hatching super late, which usually means it's a humidity issue. And so they're pretty much overgrowing inside the egg, and so they're kind of cramped like that. Is what we think. Caitlin's in the house from Wisconsin. Welcome, glad you're here. Manuel is in the house. How long should one keep the quail eggs before incubator? 7 days is ideal. So you can collect them all for 7 days and then put them all in. From day 8 to day 10, you lose about 5 to 7% fertility, but that's still not too bad if you wanted to collect for longer. And then after that, it starts decreasing dramatically. But 7 days is ideal. It doesn't affect the fertility at all. Quail's Nest says, how long can we keep quail eggs in the fridge before they go in the incubator? I don't recommend you put them in the fridge at all. Would be my answer. Yeah, on the counter, room temperature is ideal. A. Jones is in the house. I just bookmarked. Whoa. I'm going to try it one more time. I just bookmarked the cookbook page and plan to order one tomorrow. There you go. I've heard a lot of great things about it so far. So I'm sure you'll enjoy it a lot. James is in the house. Can quail be butchered the same way as grouse? 1 foot on each wing and pull the legs? No. It's kind of similar. So we butchered, not last week, but the week before. And I stopped what I was doing and said, let's do a video real quick before we finish them all. And I had my son take the video, except he took a photo. And so the whole video that was like 13 minutes long, because I went through the whole process, didn't do that. So that's still on my to-do list to get done. So that was nice. Jennifer's in the house from Maine. Welcome, glad you're here. Caitlin says, any ideas on finding customers for selling quail eggs for eating on a small scale? Yard sign won't work. I'm on a dead end. Yeah, you just got to get the word out there. You can talk to usually like your, what's it called? Local committee, like your city committee. Usually they have like festivals or carnivals or things like that, and you can always donate to that. Vendor tables, that kind of stuff, going around to local businesses. Sponsoring some things, really going out and then just grabbing it. We went to, like I did the video on one of the best ways to sell eggs, which is ballots. We went to salons, we went to Asian markets, we went to kind of the Asian popular areas near us and just knocked on doors, not individual doors, but knocked on small businesses, try to get our word out, put out flyers, join local Facebook groups and try to explain to them the benefits of it all. So yeah, just getting out there and then you should start gaining traffic from there. I know, I believe it was Katrina that was going to a weekly volleyball game, and she just started mentioning that she sold them, or that she had them. She brought some, gave some out. That's the best form of advertisement, is giving them out, answering any questions that they have, and they'll come back to you. And then she was selling out every week, either before COVID or before lockdown or something like that. So, I mean, yeah, just getting the word out there the best you can. Manuel says, can I get a reply in email? How long before you put the eggs to hatch? 7 days. Renee's in the house. Hey, Southern Indiana's in the house. Welcome. Wanderan's in the house. Welcome. Yeah, and Craigslist is a good avenue. Hoobly, Hoobly was a good avenue for us. Um, Facebook Marketplace for eating eggs was a good avenue for us. Um, Feed Store, we put our business cards up and a little flyer up there. Um, yeah, I mean, anywhere and everywhere, put your name there. And if they take it down, then they take it down. But if a couple people see it and you get one customer out of it, it's worth it. I lost my spot. Let's see. Poopy Loopy Sing Song. I said that correctly. Just ordered our second batch of jumbos. We are so excited. We were so sad to hear the wait time, though, and I haven't checked in a while. Hail from Oklahoma. You're the man, Zach. Thank you very much. Yeah, jumbo wilds are about still 13 weeks out. We just keep selling, but I've got more growing out. But yeah, those are going to be a while. Everything else is getting caught up, though, so I'm going to take the win on that. But we will get you out as soon as we possibly can. Don Ray B says, about the sex links, you went too fast a minute ago. Do the sex link offspring continue to make sex link offspring, or only the original adult pair? I do have some videos on it that I would recommend you watching, but you need Egyptian males with wild hens to create sex links. When they hatch out the opposite. So they hatch out Egyptian females and wild males. So if you put that group together, then you will get a mixture of males on both sides, Egyptians and wilds. Now, with that second hatch, you can take, because you'll get the Egyptian males and you'll get wild females from the second hatch. You can take those, put them in a cage, and then you will get sex links every time. Every time. I hope that answers, but if it didn't, feel free to ask something else. So if you ordered sex links, it's that hatch is going to be sex linked on day one. And then that hatch, their grandbabies, so 2 hatches from there, you can reproduce the sex links. And then you can do it every time. Lynn's in the house. Chat as Gail in Indiana. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. Renee's in the house. Had a quail die today. I don't know what happened. Mine are looking a little rough. They have all they need. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Sometimes they just die. A couple different things. One, how old are they? Because that'll play a role. It could be a lot of different things, unfortunately. It literally could be anything. You didn't mention any, blood or anything like that. Could have been a heart attack. They could have hit their head. They could have got spooked. They could have been on the older side. They could have been prolapsed. There's a lot. So it does happen, unfortunately. Michelle says, helping someone restart from a quail group, giving her 1 Manchurian set and 1 mix, plus some Egyptian chicks to get her started at no charge. Should I add white? Well, that's very kind of you. If you add white, then she'll be able to get a whole lot of other stuff out of it. She'll be able to get whites and tuxedos and white wings and all kinds of cool stuff. So, it couldn't hurt. But that's very kind of you. Juan says, my chicks are 7 weeks old tomorrow. Hens have been laying for a week. Okay. I weighed my males and I'm ready to make my breeding groups. Is it fine to do right before they sleep, or should I wait for the AM? It doesn't really matter. Whatever's convenient for you. That's one of those convenient things. Best practice is when it starts getting dark out, but it's not the end of the world. That's the best practice, but you can do it whenever is convenient for you. When I move quail, I move quite a bit at one time, so it's like an all-day thing, and there's really no difference. It's a good question. Dusty says, I had 32 eggs in the incubator and all 32 look good and went into lockdown. Awesome. Congratulations. Nabiki's in the house. Hello all. Moving time is getting close. Congratulations. I would assume you're getting pretty excited, and I can't wait to see all your new plans come to fruition. Papin says, can you get them to lay often without layer feed? Can you get them to lay often without layer feed? No. I mean, I don't know what else you would use. Layer feed's going to be a lot cheaper than starter grower, and you can still get them to lay on starter grower, but they're not going to lay as often or as early or as consistent or as long. Layer feed would be ideal. It doesn't really matter what layer feed. Chicken layer feed, all purpose, game bird layer, it doesn't really matter. But a layer feed is ideal. The Grazing Farmstead says, I ordered troughs and got everything but the tubing. That might have been my fault. Maybe somebody else has another, because I really did get it both ways, and I really don't know. Next time I talk to them, I'll make sure that they try to put something in the description to let you know exactly what you get from it. Mike is in the house. Tractor Supply has organic chick starter that is 30%. There you go. Susan says, good day all from the little quail hut in Jackson, Michigan. Welcome. Glad you're here. Robert's in the house. Myshire Jumbo Mix going to lockdown 5/25. Couple more days. Good luck. And obviously keep me posted. Stephen Fox says, any tips on straightening out the 16 gauge wire easily? Any links to videos? Been building cages for a decade and I'm used to thicker wire. I mean, you can go higher than 16 gauge. No, we pretty much just, I mean, we've got tools here, but when we were trying to straighten it out or bend it just a little, we mainly just used our feet. So no special tips or tricks. Renee says, I have them in rabbit cages in an enclosed covered pen with my rabbits. They have auto watering system and have unlimited wild game starter feed. They also have sandboxes which have wood ash in them. Could be the feed. I think you said they were, well, I don't know how old you said they were. If they're laying eggs and they've been laying eggs for a while, the starter grower is not going to give them all the nutrients they need to pass the eggs, which means their body was probably working overtime on trying to produce the eggs, which is why it's good to go onto a layer feed, would be my first thing to look at. Dr. Connie says, hello from Central Florida. Doing well. 27 babies in the brooder, some in the grow out pen at 5.5 weeks old. They were running all around, so I separated the males from the females. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And it'll definitely help you in the long run for sure. And congratulations. Sounds like you're doing great. Renee says, the quail are losing feathers and they just look terrible. It really bothers me. The dead quail was in the sandbox. Yeah, I would definitely try, if they're laying eggs, I would, which sounds like they're a little bit older, I definitely move them to a layer feed, which is going to be cheaper for you and a little bit easier to find. So that's one. Two, make sure that it's 5 hens to 1 male ratio. That will help them a lot for not overbreeding and losing feathers. And make sure that they're 3 quail per square foot, because if they get too hot, their body heat is a lot. So if they're overcrowded, even if it doesn't look like they're overcrowded, if it's more than 3 quail per square foot, typically they'll start pulling their back feathers out. It also could be overbreeding. So those are a couple things to look at. Rashun's in the house from Louisiana. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Weapon Man is in the house from Killeen, Texas. Welcome. Glad you're here. Let's see. Sing Song says, any preventions for Bumblefoot in older hens? Does it hurt the hen? It doesn't seem like it hurts the hen, but I can't imagine it not. It usually looks pretty bad. Putting them on PVC coated wire will completely eliminate Bumblefoot. Using galvanized wire and kind of sanding that down will help and minimize it, but the only way to eliminate it completely is PVC coated wire. And that's because Bumblefoot is really, they get a scratch or, an open wound on their foot, sometimes their leg for some reason, and then obviously they poop in the cage and then they step in it and then it gets infected and then it just swells and swells and swells. So to completely eliminate that, you have a very smooth flooring. So either galvanized wire to the best you can and make sure it's smooth. That will minimize it. But to completely neutralize it, it would be PVC coated wire. I don't think it was the sandbox, Renee. Louis in the house. When eggs start moving, are they going to hatch same day? No, not necessarily. Usually, well, I mean, it could be as early as, I'm sure it could be earlier than that, but the most I remember is 6 hours, or it could take 24 hours. Usually it's the next day once you start seeing movement. Wolf Guy says, I wouldn't be able to sell any chicks or eggs. The fella I bought mine from sells his here in town and he lives a few blocks from me. LOL. I don't want to take his business. I'm a big believer that the business isn't even begun yet. There's more and more people that need to know about it. You can easily go to the next town over, or you can just get to him and say, hey, I don't want to take any of your business. Please tell me what you're doing and I'll go a different route. He might not be doing balutes. Well, there's your market right there. Or maybe he's only doing balutes and then you've got the eating egg market. Or maybe he's only doing local sales. Well, then you can go to farmers markets or, things like that. So I just talked to him about it. Renee says, I would look more into the mite lice thing. I will look more into the mite lice thing. If you're using DE, I highly doubt that would be it. Yes, I agree, Happy Hillbilly. Stephen Fox, roll it out backwards and then step on it. Nabiki says a good way to sell eggs is to go to local mom and pop markets too. Absolutely, 100% agree. The place I'm moving to is very white, unlike where I live now. I walked into a tiny place near my house and they want eggs. Very cool. Kelly says, I'm late but here enjoying the genetics video. Thank you. I'm into different colors of chicken eggs, so it'd be interesting to have a rainbow of quail eggs too. There you go. Thank you for watching. Brian R says, hey all from Central Mississippi. Yes. Yes. How soon can we put into a cage from the brooder? 3 weeks. If it's the dead of winter, 4 weeks, but the rest of the year, 3 weeks. Bethany says, if my eggs are dirty, can I clean them with a damp paper towel before setting them for the incubator, or should I use something like a dry scrub brush to clean them off? You can dump them into water and then just pat. Don't take the bloom off. You could easily do that, yeah. Usually if you just wipe it on, not get it wet, but just wipe it on a towel or something. I usually use whatever I'm wearing. That does the trick. Dr. Connie says, do I need any certificate or license to sell eggs to friends, random customers, farmers markets? Farmers markets, you need insurance and a small egg producer's license. To friends or local pickups, you really don't. But a small egg producer's license is really not that big of a deal. It's like, well, everywhere is different. But for us, it was, they come out, they inspect, make sure you have a 3-bay sink, make sure the facility looks clean. And it's like $20, and then it's just $20 a year. And then we can sell to, local stores and farmers markets and pretty much wherever we want. So that's what I would look into. But with farmers markets, you will have to have insurance, which can get pretty spency. A lot of you guys are not talking to me, so I'm just trying. There we go. Don Ray B says, "Thank you, Zach. I got it now about the sex links. I appreciate the slowed down version. Not a problem. I know I talk really fast, but I just get so behind so quick." But again, if you have any questions, that is why I'm here. Feel free to ask, and I will explain it until I explain it correctly. Nabiki says California is regulation heavy. Yep. Oregon is not nearly as strict. Makes sense. Yeah, we did reptile expos for years. We met a lot of really cool people there. But yeah, we went to shows. We went to at least 2 out of every 3 months. And usually we went to at least 2 shows a month. Lynn says, I have raised bob whites and they have a tendency to pile in the corner of the brooder and smother one another. Do the jumbo browns do that too? They can if they're too cold. Usually if they go in the corner and they start smothering up, it means that the heat lamp or whatever heat source you're using is too hot. But I would highly recommend you check out the video I have coming out tomorrow, and that will help you a lot. Papin says, how can you have organic quail eggs? Well, you would start with organic feed, but in my experience, I don't know how that would be financially beneficial. But that's where you would start. It'd be ideal if you put them in the aviary setting. Nikki James says, Zach, yesterday I was asked a question, can you feed I don't. Oh, you. All right. I'll get to your question in just a second. Sorry. Lunar Moon Dust is in the house from Ranger Grove. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Shelby Allison is in the house. West Coast of Canada. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Dr. Connie says, are you liking the Winola Ranch drinking cups from George's video? Yeah, they're working fantastic. Haven't had any issues at all. Well, we had one leak, but that was my fault. So, oops. But other than that, they've been great. And the leak really wasn't that bad. It was just a mess on the floor the next day. So, not the end of the world. But it didn't get into the cage where they, got all wet or anything. It was a slow drip. But other than that, they've been great. So, I'm just not allowed to touch them. So, that's what it is. Nikki James says, can you feed unhatched incubated eggs to your dog? I said I wouldn't, but was unsure if you could or not. You could. Yeah, you could. Sometimes my dog might get 1 or 2 on our way to feed the pigs. The pigs will eat them, and I have no problem giving them to the pigs. I'm sure the dogs are fine. It just makes me a little hesitant, but I'm sure they're fine. And Maggie's eaten, or there was one time I dropped like 20 eggs going to the pig feeder, and they were all gone. And she's still alive, so I'm sure it's fine. David Lister says, what is the difference between sparkly fee and pansy fee? I don't know what a sparkly fee is. Not seen a sparkly fee. Pansy fee is something we made here at the farm, actually. Pansy fee was the first color that we actually did all on our own. Well, we did. No, that's not 100% true. It's not 100% true. I would assume both are feather sexable. I don't know for sure. Um, but yeah, a pansy is just a pansy with the feed gene with it, so it's like a really cool black and white color, which is my favorite color. Lunar Moon Dust says, just finished our hatch and reset the incubator with 120 of the eggs our girls laid. Very cool. Congratulations. You are killing it. Andrea says, are the cups in your brooder now available at Winola Ranch? Yeah. George actually said that he looked up Winola Ranch the other day, and I guess they got too many phone calls because now they're on the website. So yeah, I do believe they're on the website now, where they weren't before. Katrina says, I forgot to tell you, I have a broody chicken and a broody quail. Broody chicken is a buff Orpington, and I have her 10 quail eggs. She's only squashed one so far, and she is a week into brooding them. Very cool. Congratulations. Lunar Moon Dust says, we ended up with 41 out of 75 on the Jumbo Pharaoh and 14 out of 25 on the Egyptians. Not too bad. Thank you very much for letting me know. Let's see, 41 out of 75. Jumbo, 14 out of 25 Egyptians. Not too bad. Congratulations, and thanks for letting me know. I lost my place again. I'm so sorry, everybody. Got it. Question. How do you grow out extra males to 10 weeks without fighting? We have a 3-foot by 18-inch cage with 9 males. 7 weeks old. Fighting has started. Thanks for any advice. Well, there's a couple different things you can do. With what you have right now, the best thing to do is take a little tarp or something and just cover up the entire cage, make it dark in there, and that will usually eliminate all the fighting completely. Make sure that they have plenty of food and water at all times, and then you should be good to go. A couple of things to do in the future is separate your males as quickly as possible. So if they're feather sexable, separate your males from your females at 3 weeks old. That typically makes the males mature a little bit slower, so there won't be that much aggression. And still do the 3 quail per square foot. Again, if you do less than that, there can be territorial issues. If you do more than that, they can be aggressive. So that's another thing to think about right in the future as well. But yeah, your 2 things is make sure there's food and water at all times and cover that cage up, and you should be good. We Need to Fields is in the house. Well, glad you're here. Shelby Allison says, is there an automatic water you can use from day 1 into adulthood? No. Nope. They just not capable for it the first couple of days. Plus, it needs to be moved around. The water needs to be real close to the heat source the first week, and then after that, it doesn't matter. But no, we use just a regular chicken water for the first week, and then they're on automatic water cups after that until they move to the main barn, and then those are automatic troughs. Cat W's in the house. I have my first quail coming in June. Can't wait. Awesome. Congratulations, and best of luck to you. Allison says, I'm in Southwest Ohio and can typically only find an 18% layer pellet. Anything wrong with giving them an all flock crumble? Nope, not at all. About 20% protein, not sure. And provide oyster shell. No, you wouldn't even need to do that. If it should have plenty of, oyster shell is going to give you calcium and protein, and if you're doing a layer feed, yeah, an all flock layer, you shouldn't need to supplement that at all. You should be good to go. Quail's Nest says, just ordered jumbo whites. How long before shipping date? Around 6 weeks. Amy B's in the house. Welcome. Thank you very much. Let's see. Ellen's Edge says, got my tickets for QuailCon. Can't wait. Awesome. Can't wait to meet you here. And we've got a lot of really cool stuff in store, so I'm really excited about it. William's in the house. Hello to everyone from Taylor, Michigan. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Allison says, Quail. Oh, you're not talking to me. JD's in the house. Hi. Welcome. Glad you're here. Cat W says, where is QuailCon? It is here at Myshire Farm in Miamisburg, Ohio. We have a ton of information on the website under QuailCon tab. And in the next couple of months, I will be sending you a lot more information out. So I'm really excited about it. I'm confirming a lot more stuff now. I know people have been asking about, a time frame and schedule and this, that, and the other. I don't want to confirm too early. Once it's confirmed, then it's done to me. So that's why it's taken so long. But we're getting to the time, we're about 100 days out, and so now I'm ready to go full force at it. So it's going to be great. I hope everybody can make it. Michelle says, did you give up on your cellies? Yeah, we don't have them any. Well, we have them, but I'm not working on them. JD says, question, are you seeing an uptick in requests to learn to be more self-sufficient lately? No. I mean, not lately. I would say this year's been an uptick. Well, the past 3 years have been an uptick, but I wouldn't say lately has been more of it. But I would say more and more people are going towards that, especially with, I think this is going to be a continuing, growing topic of discussion for a lot more people in the future. I think this is going to be growing and growing. And that's a good thing. I think this is a good thing. I don't like how we're getting there, but I think this is going to help a lot of people out long term, because we're going to get back to being more involved with ourselves. Christy Tanner's in the house from Michigan. Welcome. Glad you're here. Stephen Fox says, everybody hit the like and subscribe button, please. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Katrina says, how did you attach the Brooder water cups to the Brooder? We screwed them in. We screwed the wire in. We took a piece of wire, we bent it up, we made a little cage, and then we installed the waters. We put the cage over the waters and then screwed it right into the brooder. Chrissy says, hit the like button and share. It helps. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for all your support. PJ's Family Farm says, hello, you beautiful quail people. Just wanted to spray my duck eggs in the incubator and got scared. A couple dozen quail were crawling around on the bottom. Lockdown is supposed to be tomorrow. Oh no. Hopefully they're okay. Good luck. Pam B says, on a hot day, my quail look like they are panting. Worry about them being overheated. Should we give them electrolytes for that? No, electrolytes really wouldn't help that much with that. Fresh water will help. Make sure that they always have water. Make sure they have some shade that they can go into. And you can even buy one of those little fans that you can clip onto like desks and stuff and just let that go. That's usually battery operated. You could put that out there on hot days, but they do okay. Even if they're panting, they'll be all right as long as there's fresh, I don't want to say cold, fresh, cool. You really don't want to give them cold water. Fresh, cool water and some shade that they can get into, and they do okay. And yes, feeder pigs will love them very much. Wolf Guy says, where in Ohio is Myshire? It's in Miamisburg, Ohio. It's about central, to be honest. It's about 45 minutes north of Cincinnati, about an hour from Columbus. So it's pretty center. Lost my spot again. What is my problem tonight? Off the rails for quails. Love the name. For bending wire, I use 2 strips of wood with screws as a vise and a rubber mallet to bend. That's a good idea. It's a great idea. Great tip. Quail's Nest says, how many generations for the white will go back to Pharaoh? Generations for the white will go back to Pharaoh. If you continue to breed whites, you won't get Pharaoh. Unless I misunderstood the question, but yeah, you're not going to get pharaohs out of generations of whites. Yeah, we're probably 35 minutes away from Lebanon. Not too far. PJ's Family Farms in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. Amy's in the house. Welcome. Christy Tanner says, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you very much for your support. Lost this. There we go. Can't wait to get a proper cage for these guys. Well, good luck to you. You can always check out dalesquails.com, quailcage.com, but you can easily go to, Craigslist or something like that, find a rabbit hutch and just make some change to that, and that'll work just great too. Oh, sorry, David. I misunderstood. Pansy Fee carries the Fee gene, so it's like a black and white quail, where Sparkly / Pansy doesn't carry the Fee gene. It's like our Sparkly is a Pansy and a Pharaoh blended together, so it's a feather sexable Pansy. It's just a cross. I mean, if there's ever a cross, that's a great definition of a cross, because if you look at a pansy and you look at a wild and then you see a sparkly in the middle from us, you're going to go, that makes sense. That's literally a cross. Where the Pansy Fee is Pansy and the Fee gene together, so it kind of looks majorly different. Probably didn't explain that great. Sorry. Patricia says, hi, my Silky refuses to sit on the quail eggs. Interesting. I've heard Silkies do really well with them. She was very broody when I gave her the eggs on them 2 days, then left nest. Good luck with your buff. Interesting. I've heard a lot of success with Silkies. Amelia Young is in the house. Looking forward to QuailCon from Texas. Absolutely. I really can't wait to meet everybody this year. Last year we had a great turnout. We had a great convention. I thought it was awesome, but I was slammed. If you were here last year, you knew that I was just busy as all get out. And I've said it before, but I feel like I talked to everybody, but I really didn't get to talk to anybody. So we made it a 2-day event this year. So I'll be doing tours, real busy on Saturday. But then we're going to have a dinner that night where we can converse and hang out. And then all day Sunday, I'm going to be walking around just talking to everybody and listen to the speeches. I'll be speaking as well. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about actually meeting everybody this year. Well, hopefully we'll have it next year, Wolfgeist, and you can come next year. This will be our first time new quail owners and enjoying it a lot. Have learned from this channel. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, and good luck on your journey. Lunar Moon Dust says, can you say you have your first customer of your giving a week's worth of eggs away to a local contact? Oh, I'm going to have to read that again. Can you say you have your first customer if you're giving a week's worth of eggs away to a local contact off Craigslist? That is a really good question. I'm going to say no, but not to discourage you. I gave a lot, a lot of eggs away. Because I was like, look, they're good for you. We've got good quality. We've got a good breeding program here. You know, I'm working my butt off. I know that if you just try it, you're going to love it. So when I started out, I mean, I just threw eggs. And I was like, here, just take some. So we gave a lot of eggs away. We lost money the first 2 years we were in business because I was like, nope, we're going long term here. So I think it's a great marketing strategy. I think that it's a great long term business plan. I mean, not to give your eggs away for the rest of your life, but to get the word out there and to get people interested. I think it's great. I wouldn't say it's your first customer yet, but I do think that by doing this, you will get your first customer, and that's going to be awesome. And I hope you let me know when that happens. Stephen Fox says, I hope no one is raising monkeys with their quail. That's the last thing we need is a super HBAI cross with monkeypox. That, that would be a bummer. Oh, God. Quail's Nest says, question, how long do roosters fertilize the eggs? I heard the hens only lay fertilized eggs for 4 weeks. I don't agree with that, but I've heard up to 3, but I don't agree with that either. I think it's less than a week. I mean, that's why the fertility drops dramatically. So, in my opinion, I say 3 days. If your male's out of the cage after 3 days, then I wouldn't incubate it. It's not worth it to me. But I know people that do it for 2 weeks and get an okay hatch rate. Thanks so much for the response. After fighting males, we'll try to tarp darkness. That should fix your problem altogether for this round. There are solar powered fans. That's a good idea too. Ellen's Edge says, will Klombach be available for questions at QuailCon? Yes, they will. Absolutely. They will be here both days. And they'll be speaking. Tommy Texter says, with the extra eggs, can I boil them and bust them and feed my chickens? Yep, absolutely. A lot of people do that. I would put them in the... Oh, you're not talking to me. The Bakers on a Few Acres is in the house from West Central Missouri. Welcome, glad you're here. Zelda D and Z Crazy Farms in the house from Wisconsin. Welcome, glad you're here. Amelia Young says, I bought some quail, 2 roosters and 8 hens from our friends to have a nice mix, but they have only laid 4 eggs, and I think they are old enough. They don't seem to be having any success. I would need a lot, like, okay, so when you move them, any added stress is going to stop them to lay for a couple of weeks. So if you've had them for less than 2 weeks, that completely makes sense. If you change the feed and you move them, they could go about 3 weeks without laying, be very consistent. Another thing is make sure they're getting 16 to 18 hours of light a day. All of that will affect, so I think you just need to give it a little bit of extra time. But that's the information I would need to try to help you narrow down what we could do. But those are 3 things right there. Christy Tanner says, we have switched over to jumbos now. Our first big batch is an incubator. Awesome. Congratulations. Gregory says, my quail at present are in our future living room and bedroom, but they will be hopefully moving to my office entryway that is currently being framed. There you go. Christy Tanner says going to lockdown 6-7, not too long, so congratulations on that. I believe they were 4 to 5 weeks old when I got them, and I've had them for about 3 weeks. Yeah, they're still young. I'm sure you changed the feed as well as, changing the environment. Make sure that there's 16 to 18 hours of light a day on them, and make sure that there's 3 quail per square foot and 5 hens to every 1 male. And 5, 6, 7. I'd say to be safe, probably another 2 weeks. I think you'll get eggs sooner than that, but I would say at least 2 weeks before I would start panicking. Chris Tanner says our jumbos are at 12.5 ounces at 9 weeks. Not too bad, not too bad. Congratulations. Katrina says traded 50 eggs for 9 soccer balls at a garage sale on my block last week. Cool. They are good bartering tools. That's true. Wolf Guy says, I just switched to Klombach feed for my rats. Do they have a good feed for quail? That's what we use. If you type in the YouTube search bar, feed by Myshire Farm, it's exactly what we use, and we go through Klombach. And I love it. Zelda D and Z Crazy Farm says, giving away works for my man. Finally listened to me, and he listened to me and gave me some at work and got people buying quail eggs and duck egg sales. Very cool. Let's see. What should I look for in feed from them for the quail? My chicks are getting close to maturity. Yeah, I would watch that video, and that will give you all the information you need. And you can just type in the YouTube search bar feed by Myshire Farm, and it'll pop up. There's going to be, the picture will be a bag of Klombach, and that will give you all the information you need. Nikki James says, I just got to know, what's the deal with those who say their spouses wouldn't eat the free eggs because they are so too cute? I have not heard that before, but we have not had that issue here. 700 now. That is awesome. Congratulations, Zelda D. That's really cool. You guys are killing it. You're welcome, Amelia. Thanks for asking the questions. I did change the feed, and they are outside right now. Yeah, so I maybe in about a week and a half they'll start laying, but I would say closer to 2. But that I wouldn't change anything, because if you change anything now, you're just going to prolong it. So unfortunately, it's the worst part, but you just gotta stay consistent and be patient. Welcome, Papa's Farm. Gregory is at 90 quail. First batch in February, and the second batch is about 3 or 4 weeks old. Very cool. Congratulations. Brian says, could I feed my quail crushed egg layer chicken feed? You don't have to crush it, but yeah, absolutely. They're not picky at all. They're good with that. Grace Ann says, I live in Texas and was thinking of getting quail. Is it too hot for quail? No, actually, there's a ton of Texans in the chat tonight that raise quail. Inside, outside, insulated, uninsulated, they do fine. Quail, really, it doesn't really affect quail with the heat or the cold. It's more of the environment. It's more of, can they get out of the elements? That's what affects them. So if they have some shade of the sun, if they have some housing they can go into during rain, snow, sleet, heavy wind, they do completely fine. Chad Cash says, with your sexling chicks, how does their offspring work? Will the Egyptians hatched this way only have Egyptians? They hatch out opposite. So when they hatch out, they're going to hatch out Egyptian females and wild males. When you put those babies together, they're going to give you both wilds and Egyptians of both kind, male and female. If you take your Egyptian males from that second hatch and put them with your wild females from that second hatch, every time you hatch out from that cage, it will be sexlings every time. The opposite of that, the ones that you didn't use for that sexling cage, which is wild females and Egyptian males, that will give you Egyptian and wild male and female. so that you can continue your sex-linked run. Papa's Farm says 5/29. My batch goes into lockdown. Wish us luck. Absolutely. Next week, good luck. I wish you all the best, and obviously keep me posted. I appreciate you doing the Q&As and also for your informative videos. They've been a great help. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I am very excited about the videos that I was able to get done today. I've got an electrolytes video, which was a surprise. It's going to tell you when to use it, why to use it, and what to use. I think that's going to help a lot with boosting up your quail. I've got reasons for chick fatality and troubleshooting them. I've got a troubleshooting for incubators and how to get a good hatch. I did a video on the best practices for brooders. We've got a watering video coming out, and we've got an electric fence video coming out. I've got some good videos coming out, but a lot of these that I did today were mainly about quail and helping you on your journey. So I think that the videos I'm doing is really going to help a lot of people, especially the new people, but even people that's been raising for a while. I think 2 of the 4 videos that I just mentioned are really, really going to help because there's a lot of new information in there. And thank you for being here and watching and asking questions. Dusty Green says, at 4 weeks old, what weight should Jumbo be? I don't know off the top of my head, but we do have a playlist called the Jumbo Breeding Program, and I did week-by-week videos of the average weights. In the description, it actually tells you the weights week by week. So you can find that on there. And that playlist is on our YouTube channel, Myshire Farm. And the playlist is called the Jumbo Breeding Playlist. In fact, Dusty Green, Verna Young actually put the link to it 3 comments below your question. Gregory says, in my advertising for quail egg sales, I have had some people not want to buy any to eat as the eggs look too beautiful. There you go. Arts and crafts are a huge seller for quail eggs as well. Amelia says, Kingsland, Texas is in the house. Welcome. Stephen says, yeah, in Texas, she will see the quail pant, but all in all, very good. Absolutely. Zelda D says, I love the GQF incubators and hatcher. We open up the hatcher and the quail are jumping out. David says, there goes the popcorn. There you go. I do love the GQF. Absolutely. I've noticed something about DE in the dust bath. You can, you need to use it very sparingly. Very, very little DE in each one. I do believe they used to anyway. There's a instructions on the bag that you buy DE for or from, and it'll tell you exactly how much to put in, but you really don't put that much in to the place and or whatever you use. And it's just supposed to help with mites and things like that. You don't have to use it. You can. It's whatever you want to do. Michelle says, do you clean your humidifier? I cleaned mine because of the hard water deposits here and it stopped working. Can Papa maybe do a video on fixing them? No, we have not cleaned our hot water or our humidifiers. And we change the filters out and we clean the bottle out. We wipe it down, but we don't like take it apart or anything. No, we've never done that. Sorry. I don't know what it would be, why it stopped working. Quail's Nest says, what do you mean by when the rooster is out of the cage in 3 days? I mean, if you take the rooster out, or if the rooster dies, or whatever the case may be. I mean, if there's males in the cage, then they're going to be fertile. Every day. Alamo Quail Farm says, what is the best way to sell quail eggs? It's like bubblegum shrimp from Forrest Gump. Any way you can think of, you can sell it that way. I do have a Quail for Profit playlist We talk about balutes. We talk about selling eating eggs, places to go, different platforms to sell on. So I would definitely check that playlist out. It's called Quail for Profit, and it's on our YouTube channel. I think on the main page actually, and that'll give you a lot of different ideas and avenues to go down. I am planning on keeping them in my dining room in hatching time cages. I would like to enclose one of the 3 sections somehow to use as dust dirt bath. I don't have. Oh, I don't have any experience with the hatching time cages, but I'm sure you could do something. The electrolyte video sounds really interesting. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I did just finish it, and I think that was the one downloading when I got on here. Or maybe it was the watering. It's done though, so it'll be coming. Very excited. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 videos to post, and it's going to take everything inside of me not to post every day. But I was trying to get caught up so that I can plan them out. So very excited about that because I've been behind on that for a long time. But yeah, that one will be coming soon. Tomorrow's video is going to be best practices for brooding your quail. So I think that one's going to be very helpful as well. The humidicate stopped working. I saw you had one on your videos. Yeah, we've got 3, I think. 2? I think we've had 2. We had one a long time ago that did stop working. We ordered 2 more, and we've probably had those 3 years. The new ones? No, the lockdown was down. Yeah, probably 3 years. Probably 3 years. I mean, we clean, you know, the jug out, and you can take the green piece off and just wipe that down, but that's all we've ever done. Sorry. Kathy and Aram and Kathy in Louisville, Kentucky, welcome. We're glad you're here. Michael says, I know you were trying out different incubators. Have you tried the mini dome chick baiter yet? No. It is here, but I haven't had any eggs. But with my new breeders in 2 weeks, I'll be fully caught up on standards for the most part. So hopefully, fingers crossed, in the next couple of weeks, I start the process again, or with new incubators. So I'm really excited about that because they've just been, the incubators that we've been wanting to try have just been staring at me, and I'm like, I don't have any eggs. So pretty excited about that. And I have a meeting with Ohio State University on Wednesday next week. Tuesday? I don't know. Someday next week I have a meeting, and it's not just OSU. It's not Ohio State University. It's them and MPIP and all kinds of things, different hatcheries and things like that. We're going to have a conference call, and we're going to be talking about AI, and I am going to ask fervently if we can start selling live quail again. So we'll see how that goes. So a lot of cool things possible coming up. Alamo Quail Farm's in the house. Welcome, and not a problem. I'm glad we could help. Let's see. Katrina says, how many new cages do you have this year? God. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. What's there? Oh, right. 8, 9. 9, but I did get rid of color this year. So 8, I guess. Excited to have lots of new content to watch. Well, thank you very much. I'm excited to actually get these off my to-do list. I've been trying for a while. So thank you. I'm glad you're excited. I am too. Brian says, thank you all for the Q&A. You're all great. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you being here and asking questions and taking time out of your day. Quail's Nest says, we were talking about fertile eggs. Hens fertile for 4 weeks. You mentioned 2 weeks. If the rooster is out of the cage after 3 days, what does that mean? Are we supposed to take the rooster out? No, you're not supposed to take the rooster out. Some people breed just one male, which I don't recommend. But some people will take a male and just put it in the cage for a little bit, take it out, put it in another cage for a little bit, and just use the same male for all the cages. I don't like that. I don't recommend it. But if by chance I take all the males out for some reason, or the male dies in the cage, or whatever the case may be, after 3 days, I don't use those eggs for incubation anymore. That's a lot of new ones. Yeah. Well, technically there's more than that because we increased our Egyptians 3 times the amount, increased our sex links 1.5 times, increased our whites two times more, increased our white wings 100%. We doubled it. And then the jumbos, we added, oh dear God, a third more. No, that's not right. Yeah, it is. We added a third more jumbo wilds. So I actually added quite a bit more than that. Barbara says, does vinegar help in their digestion? Vinegar, you can do vinegar. Some people do it. I never really liked it. I like doing the electrolytes instead. Either Save a Chick or Quick Chick by Murray McMurray. Save a Chick's on Amazon. I prefer to put that in there. But people do vinegar. You just have to be careful with it, not give them too much. But yeah, either one does fine. Kathy says, we have 1 quail now laying eggs, started at 6 and a fifth weeks old, maybe 6.5 weeks old, and got to hear one of the ruse crows 7 weeks old for our first time. Very cool. Congratulations. That's a very exciting time. So you're doing great. Congratulations. Well, what did I hear? Y'all are losing the colors line for additional cages? No, I got rid of 1 color this year, but I already got rid of it. Starting at the beginning of the year, I took it off the website. We still have it. I just don't offer it. It's in a much smaller cage, and it's just going to certain things. So, yeah, I wasn't comfortable getting rid of any other colors. So, but we had cages that I could move around. Dr. Connie says, I'm still liking the Nurturite 360. It's even better with the quail egg turner. Awesome. Congratulations. Chris Rose 04 says, when I had chickens, I added things like thyme and oregano to their water to help them stay healthy. Does that work for quail? Yep, absolutely, it can. Papa's Farm says, I ordered the mixed batch with snows, pearls, and fabs. Would you separate the types before they are old enough to mate? You can. I mean, they're all feather sexable. So you should be able to move them at 3 weeks old and separate then. Nishra Rama, I hope I said that correctly. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, and ready for quail. Can I have them outside as long as they have cover? Yep, absolutely. After 3 weeks old, put them outside, and they're good to go. They just need to be fully feathered at 3 weeks old. Eagle Ridge says, have a 20-week hen who, no matter what layer feed plus oyster shell, lays a soft blue egg. My other 10 hens have nice hard eggs. Could it be something besides a nutritional issue? I don't think so, no. It'd be a deficiency is what that one would have. I mean, you could experiment with it and take that one out, put it in a separate cage, and give it, a certain amount of oyster shells in a week, and then maybe put them on a higher calcium level, and kind of change their feeds on and see how much. But if you're going to put them in a cage with other quail, I think it's a deficiency, and you really don't want to add that to your genetics. You really want to just stop that in its tracks. JDM Hatchback 90 says, I have problems in the 98 plus degree heat. They don't seem to do good. Just make sure that there's some shade that they can get out of instead of just the heat or just the sun. But we get 98 here all through summer, and they do okay. So just make sure that they're five hens to every one male, 3 chicks per square foot, or 3 quail per square foot, and that they have shade and they can get out of the elements. Hey, I did say it right. Thank you. And that is all the comments. We're at an hour and 43, so not too bad. I didn't do too bad stumbling around and rambling on tonight. Look at me. So, if you missed the very first part, I'm going to do the announcements real quick for you. We've got a lot of good YouTube videos that are done coming your way in the next couple of weeks. Best practices for incubators, best practices for brooders, troubleshooting incubators, reasons for chick fatality and how to fix it, electrolytes, what to give, when to give, why give it. We've got a watering video coming out. We've got a homesteading video coming out. I feel like the best practices for brooding. I don't know if I said that. So a lot of good stuff coming your way. So make sure you like and subscribe, share the videos, get the word out. We're less than 300 subscribers away from hitting 40,000 subscribers, which is super cool. So thank you to all of you that are kind enough to share the videos, like the videos, watch the videos, and support the channel. I really appreciate it. Make sure you check out QuailCon. I'll be doing a ton of videos about QuailCon coming up in the next couple of weeks and months. We've got a lot of information to share for you, so I'm really excited about that. I will not be here next Sunday and Monday, as I will be out of town, but when I get back, we've got huge news about our wait times. They will be decreasing dramatically, so I'm very excited about that. So I'll give you that information. I am waiting to hear back from about 4 different people, but we're going to be doing some really, really interesting videos to help you on your journey with Coturnix quail coming up as soon as I get with them, which I'm planning on taking the week when I get back and just spending an entire day just traveling and meeting all these people. So I'm very excited about that as well. Check out QuailCon. I think that's all the announcements. Looks like we had a couple more questions, so I'll answer those and we'll get out of here. I just had some quail hatch and one pipped, had its beak out of the egg, then it gave up and died. Any idea why? Sometimes that does just happen. It's failure to thrive. But if it happens to more than one of them, usually it's a humidity issue, and they spend all their energy breaking through the egg when you need to increase that humidity and soften the egg so that they can break out a little bit easier. But if it was just one that did it like that, then it was probably one that wasn't going to make it anyway. But if it was multiple, then it's a humidity thing. Katrina says, thanks for all the information in chat tonight. Wonderful information. Thank you very much. Dusty says, I just checked out the video. Mine are at 7 ounces, so I'm happy with that weight. Awesome. Congratulations. I'm grateful I jumped on tonight. Thanks for all the information. Well, thanks for jumping on, and I appreciate it. Glad we could help. Let's see. Jody says, I ordered 460 eggs from you today. Looking forward to my new quail journey. I have 300 8-week-old quail at the moment, and I'm separating males and females. Will males kill each other? They could. I mean, not all of them, but some of them could be jerks. If you're going to make a separate male cage, 8 weeks old, yeah, they're a little too old to do the best practice. Once you separate, cover the cage up in complete darkness until you're ready to call. Now, I butcher at 8 weeks old. That's what I do. So I would just separate and call. But if you're going to want to keep them until they're 10 weeks old or something like that, put a tarp or some sort of cover over that. Very little light will help disorient them where they're not going to be aggressive. Make sure that they have plenty of food and water. And if you've got 300 8-week-old quail and you're separating, we're going to say you have about 150. You're probably going to put them into quite a large pen. If that's the case, make sure that there's 2 waters and 2 feeders in there, and they won't be so aggressive towards each other. That'll help as well. But the no light will help you the most. But I butcher at 8 weeks. Carolyn says, ordered 50 feathers expo. You sent an extra 10, 40 hatch. That is awesome. Congratulations. It's a great hatch. Congratulations. Can quail eat whole flax seeds, or are they too big to swallow, and would it increase the omega-3 in the eggs? I am not familiar with that. I would assume that they can, but I don't. I would assume that they can. I don't know for sure. Oh, Katrina says they can, so there you go. Nope, not talking to me. And Kathy says, we have one quail we found that was walking backwards more than forwards. The other were running over her. We brought her in, found a sore toe. Could that be the problem or a neuro issue? Sure sounds like a neuro issue. It sounds like the quail hit its head. And that's the only time I've seen quail walk backwards, is when they get spooked and they hit their head. Is the only time I've seen it. Could possibly be a foot issue, but it's a little unlikely. The more common answer would be neuro. I'll leave it at that. And that is all the comments. Remember, tomorrow night, if you want more questions answered, I do a rapid fire, so I don't take this long. I only read the comments, only read the questions, and answer them as quickly as I can. Usually we go pretty fast and answer a ton of questions. I feel like I answered a ton of questions tonight, so I hope that we helped. Good luck on your journey. Thank you very, very much for watching, and check out the videos we're posting and make sure you share those. I'd greatly appreciate it. And until next time, everybody, stay safe. Thanks.